President Biden announcing 20 million more approved vaccine doses will be shared with other countries that need them. That's in addition to the 60 million doses of the AstraZeneca vaccine, which is not yet authorized here in the U.S., that the administration has already committed to sending overseas. Let's bring in emergency physician and ABC News medical contributor Dr. Darren Sutton and ABC's deputy political director Avery Harper for more on this. Let's start with you, Dr. Sutton. Where are these doses needed the most, and how big of an impact could this announcement have?
Oh, good afternoon, Eva. These vaccines are needed most notably, of course, in India, as it is headlined because it is experiencing some of the highest numbers of COVID-19 infections that we have seen since the beginning of this pandemic. And there are also other countries that are also suffering. If you look at places like Argentina, Colombia, and Costa Rica, all of these countries are suffering from incredibly large per capita rates of cases as well as deaths. And from what we have gathered, these vaccines obviously have been effective in preventing hospitalizations, deaths, and of course, there's more information that shows that vaccines are helpful in preventing transmission. So these are reasons why these vaccines would greatly benefit these countries. As far as our goalposts here in the United States in obtaining the herd immunity that we're so hardworking and striving for, it should not change it at all. As the president has stated, there's enough vaccine available for all of those eligible, including all of those in over the age of 12 within the United States.
And Avery, I want to ask you, what do we know about how this decision was made and where these vaccines could be headed? We heard Dr. Sutton list off a long list of places they need them.
Right. Well, listen, you know that this president campaigned on restoring the soul of this nation and returning to moral leadership. And for him, part of that is helping other countries. He said today that this is going to be a part of the international COVAX effort. And so, you know, that whole effort is about ensuring that the vaccines are distributed equitably. So that means that those vaccines are going to be heading across the developing world and to nations that have been hard hit by COVID-19. Nations like India, which we've seen the horrific impact of the pandemic there.
And Dr. Sutton, this comes as states are dropping their mask mandates in response to the CDC's new guidance saying fully vaccinated people can safely ditch their masks in most situations. But that has led to some confusion and even controversy over whether it's too soon to go maskless. What's your take on all this?
My take is that this is the point where I start to disagree. I think right now that we simply have not achieved herd immunity. And I think releasing or lifting these guidelines, or excuse me, lifting these restrictions on mask use in public places like grocery stores does nothing but put employees and customers at more risk. I try to advise everyone to take acknowledgement of the risk around you and do your best to mitigate and decrease those risks as much as possible. And by that, I mean, if you're stepping into a public place or surrounded by people that you don't know, it goes a long way to wear a mask than you can imagine, because there are many who are suffering from immune compromisation statuses and going home to someone vulnerable. And so we all have to do our part to keep these numbers low.
Avery, let's switch gears a little bit. It's tax day. Biden also announced that some families would start seeing a new tax credit this July. Biden says it will cut child poverty in half. How does it work, and who stands to benefit?
Well, nearly 39 million households stand to benefit. Starting July 15th, up to $300 per child, these families will start to see in the form of a direct deposit, a paper check, or a debit card. You know, this is all a part of Biden's effort to cut child poverty in half and to give working class and middle class families help, you know, in the midst of this pandemic. And it's coming in the form of cold hard cash.
And thinking of those children, Dr. Sutton, we're expecting to hear updated guidance on schools and camps soon. What would you tell parents about how to keep their kids safe?
Well, I think practicing what we know works best, which is masking and distancing when possible, and of course, anyone who is eligible to get vaccinated. I think in this upcoming year, schools will probably look more close to normal than they ever have been, but we have to take caution and provide provisions in terms of PPE, masks, and testing, and of course, vaccination, so that we can, of course, keep these children safe.
Dr. Darren Sutton, Avery Harper, thank you both for being with us.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.